right, consecutive integers. 2, 3, 4. Are they consecutive? Because consecutive means what? In order. All right, now consecutive odds. 3, 5, 7, 9, right? How far are consecutive odd numbers apart? 2. Now look at consecutive evens. Negative 10, negative 8, negative 6, negative 4. How far are consecutive even numbers apart? They're also 2 apart. So, as we're thinking about these kind of problems, our consecutive numbers might either be 1 apart or 2 apart. And that's why I put these notes at the top here, because it is a key idea, understanding of our consecutive numbers and how far apart are they. So, when we have a problem like this, it's not about figuring out what the answer is necessarily. I have made these numbers small and easy to figure out. I want you to think of if I made it, Ingrid, instead, with thousands of numbers, in terms of the large and the size. But I'm going to give you the illustrations with the small numbers. So, here's how we're going to do it. Whatever we're starting with, typically the first value is always going to be x for your variable. So let's make x our first integer. Now these are just consecutive integers. And I want you to put a little note here that says they are 1 apart. And the reason I want you to physically write that is because we're going to do that on each problem, and that's going to help us to remember what to do on the next one. If the first one is x, what's the next one if it's 1 apart? Is it going to be x or 2x or x plus 1? Is it going to be 2x or x plus 1? It's 1 more up on the line. So it'll just be x plus 1. Now, I'm going up the line further. 1 more integer up the line. Now it's not x plus 1. Now it's x plus 2. On your homework, on the left side, I want you to set up your variables. So TJ, you're going to write down, let x equal the first integer. Let this equal the second integer, etc., etc. Now, draw 3 blanks and set them equal to 54. What are those 3 blanks representing? Yeah, the integers. So what goes in the first blank? X. The second blank? X plus 1. In my third blank? X plus 2. How many x's do I have? 3x plus 3 equals 54. Do what to both sides now, Dylan? Subtract 3. Without a calculator, let's see if anyone can do this in their head. Can anyone divide 51 by 3? Zach? 21. Close. That would be 63 divided by 3. Taylor? 17. Who knows the trick of dividing by 3? Anybody? Good chance to teach you. Add up 5 plus 1. What do you get? 6. Does 6 divide by 3 evenly? Yes. Then 51 does too. Okay, let me show you another example. Slide over here to the side. 483. What's 4 plus 8? 12. Plus 3? Does 15 divide by 3? Then 483 divides by 3. It always works. Little free sidebar for you. Okay? All right, so our answer is 17. But what's the question? Go back to that idea. What is the question? Find the what? Integers. So we need to answer the question. The integers are 17. What's the next one? 18 and 19. So you've got to answer the question. All right, moving down. The sum of 2 consecutive even integers is 110. Underline the word even and put an arrow that says they are how far apart? They're 2 apart. So here we go. Our first integer is x, but now they're 2 apart. Up atop, we had x plus 1 is the next one. Now what will the second integer be? X plus 2. So we have a very simple equation here. blank plus blank equals 110. Put in your values. X is the first one. X plus 2 is the second one. Going from there, what do we have? How many x's? 2x plus 2 equals 110. Do what to both sides? Subtract 2. Can you divide that one in your head? 54. So, the integers are 54 and 56. What's the only difference between number 1 and number 2? Number 1 was what kind of integers? Consecutive. Number 2 is consecutive evens. All right? Just to show you all three examples, let's look at number 3. Underline the word odd and put a note out that says how far apart? 2 apart. This is the problem that for some reason all the students seem to make a mistake on. I'm not sure why. This is actually easy. Ashley, if our first one is x, how far is 1 away from 3? 2. So if that's x, what's that? X plus 2. And so your next one is x plus 2. Then what's the next odd integer? X plus 4. How far are they apart? They're 2 apart. So let's do our blanks. Blank plus blank plus blank equals how much on this one? 105. So x, x plus 2, x plus 4. That gives me 3x plus 6 equals 105. Subtract 6. 3x equals 99. Divide by 3. X equals 33. So, the integers are 33. What else? 35 and 37. Okay? All you got to remember is consecutives are 1 apart and odds and evens are 2 apart. Now, which is easier, the integer thing or the rectangle thing? Rectangle? Okay, the key to the rectangles is going to be to draw on all sides of your thing and working it out that way. The key to your integers is remembering evens versus odds.